The AFC Championship is here, and my best bets are on the way as the Kansas City Chiefs travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. What's going on? My name is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Before I dive into the picks, let's recap how we did last week in the divisional round. Not too shabby, a 5-3 week for us. We went 2-2 on Saturday and ended the week with a 3-1 day on Sunday. Close to this week, but we will certainly take a winning week. Let's hopefully do that again for the AFC and NFC Championship round. Like I said, we have another video separate for the NFC Championship game where we have the Lions taking on the 49ers. That one's going to be posted right after this video, probably like 15 minutes after it. So if you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of that. And I'll link that video at the end of the video and in the comment section down below so you don't miss out on that. Before I dive on the picks though, I do want to talk about an important offer that's going on Sleeper right now. Not only will they match your first deposit up to $500 if you use our code COS or the link in the description. That's pretty cool. But if you use that code, you also get a Brock Purdy free square. Now, I'm not going to talk about how Brock Purdy, I think he does on Sunday. I'll talk about him in the other video, but you can get that free square. And they also have a discounted prop for everyone to use. It's not just for new users, which that Brock Purdy is for. Lamar Jackson, they got him discounted like 160 something pass yards. I'll show how I'm using that at the end of this video. But without further ado, let's dive into the picks today. There's also a really good BetMGM offer. If you want to take advantage of that, you bet $5, get $158 of bonus bets. Pretty cool offer. Details down below. But you guys came here for picks. It's a championship weekend. Let's dive into the first one. We're starting with the guy in the thumbnail, Lamar Jackson. What am I betting for him, though? I'm taking his over 29.5 passing attempts, plus 100 on FanDuel. Personally, I don't see this line going to 30.5. I think this line is playable up to about minus 125. Now, Jackson and the Ravens obviously are playing host to the Kansas City Chiefs. Could be a little bit of rain in the weather forecast. I'm not too worried about it. I think at the end of the day, I like Jackson for 30 plus times. Now, this is a very similar play to what we did last week in the Chiefs-Bills game. I took Josh Allen's over in pass attempts, sweat-free. And why is that? Because teams tend to pass a little bit more against the Kansas City Chiefs. Reasonably so, because they got Patrick Mahomes putting pressure on you on the other side. Now, obviously, Patrick Mahomes, you think about, he's probably going to keep his team in this game. And we've seen, that's going to probably lead to Lamar Jackson having to throw in all four quarters. And including last week, Lamar throwing 30-plus pass attempts hit this over in only 7 of 17 games. Not the best hit rate. However, when Lamar has thrown 30-plus passes, he's done so in 6 of 8 games decided by 10 or fewer points. Obviously, the Ravens can come out here and smoke the Kansas City Chiefs. If that happens, we're probably losing Lamar Jackson's pass attempts prop. I don't see that happening. I really think this is a game that Pat Mahomes, he rarely gets blown out, should keep this game close. And if the Chiefs are leading, obviously, we're going to see Lamar Jackson passing some more in the second half. But last week, you saw Lamar only 22 pass attempts. Pretty good game for him, but they ran the ball 42 times. I don't see that being a recipe for success against the Chiefs. I think they're going to have to throw the ball. And Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, probably knows that. And his probably number one goal is slowing down Lamar Jackson. And that's a little bit easier said than done. But I still do think if you're going to contain this Ravens offense, which has been really good all year long, it's trying to force Lamar Jackson to throw. Now, obviously, he's been beating teams left and right this year throwing the ball, but I think if you are Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs, you'd rather him throw the ball on you 150 times than have to happen to run all over you. And so I think that's what they're going to do. And the Chiefs, it's kind of what they've been doing this season. They've allowed the 5th lowest completion percentage in the NFL. The Chiefs have seen the 9th most passes in the NFL too, at 36.8 on the road per game, and 14 of 19 QBs to face the Chiefs I've seen their quarterback throw for 30 or more pass attempts. Now, I was looking at taking his completions prop, which is about 19.5, but not a lot of QBs complete more than like 67, 70% of passes against the Chiefs. And if it's an inefficient day for Lamar, the pass attempts is going to come a lot easier than the completions, although he could obviously hit both, and they certainly go hand in hand. We've seen only a couple guys go under this line against the Chiefs. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to be one of them. I really like his over 29.5 passing attempts. It was plus 100 on FanDuel. Let's get a little plus 100 value. I'll take it. Mark Andrews is back. Maybe they lean on the pass a little bit more. I don't really know. I'll take anything I can get. I'll take Lamar Jackson over in pass attempts, my first pick of the day. Now, my second pick is going to go to the other team. I'm going to go to the Chiefs, and who I'm backing on their side, Isaiah Pacheco, over 80.5 rushing plus receiving yards, minus 110 on FanDuel. Personally, I'd play this about 85.5 for Pacheco. I don't know if his line goes up or down as game time arrives, because Pacheco enters with a little bit of an injury tag to him. He is questionable. He did not practice on Wednesday and Thursday, was a limited participant on Friday. I don't necessarily know if I'm not going to buy too hard into the injury narrative, because I really do think this is the guy that they were trying to rest. They didn't need to practice him a ton. He knows what he's doing. He knows his role in this backfield. It's to be their lead running back, and I think they're going to put him out there a lot. Obviously, you have to win this game, so you're going to play your best players, and I like Pacheco. Through 2 playoff games so far, Pacheco has at 88 and 109 rushing plus receiving yards. Not a lot of receiving yards, but he still easily got it done with the rushing yards, and he's actually now hit this over in 3 straight road games. So on the road in Baltimore, obviously, if you're going going to take the crowd out of it. You're probably going to try to run the football, avoid those negative plays where the crowd gets amped up. And Baltimore's still going to go crazy regardless of how the game's going, unless the Ravens are down by like 40 points. Then they might not be too happy. But I really do think they're going to lean out Pacheco. We've seen teams be able to run against the Ravens. They've really struggled against the run. And I don't see them loading the box to stop Pacheco. The moment you load the box, good luck stopping Mahomes. You're giving him one-on-one coverage with everyone. That's not a recipe for success. Last week, Singletary didn't have a good game. Only 9 carries for 22 yards, but had a lot of damage in the receiving game. 48 yards, did go under this line. But you look at 15 running backs this season have had 10 or more rushing attempts versus Baltimore. Those players, and I'm not going to read out every single one of their rushing plus receiving yards lines. You can look at them if you want. But in summarize, 10 or 9 of the 15 guys that had 10 or more rush attempts versus the Ravens went over this line, and a lot of them did it pretty easily, with nearly all of them having 95 to 100 plus yards. Obviously, we know how talented Pacheco is, and we can't guarantee he gets 10 rush attempts. We can't guarantee he gets receptions, but his rush attempts line is 14.5. His receptions line is 3.5, despite only having 1 reception each of the last 2 games. I think Pacheco has a good day on the ground, but if this game gets out of hand and maybe the Chiefs are trailing, I would not be surprised if Pacheco has a decent day through the air. You think about how talented the Baltimore Ravens linebackers are. Obviously, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, those guys are insane. But they're also going to be super focused on stopping Travis Kelce, number one. Pacheco might leak out of the backfield and get some, maybe get some yards up the field. It's fun to watch Pacheco run. You know how crazy he is. And I just think he gets the usage here. Now, it is worth noting, Chiefs are going to be down their left guard, I believe, and Joe Tooney, left or right guard. I forget which one he is. Either way, I don't love that, but I really do think that they're going to lean on Pacheco in the air and on the ground. So give me his over in rushing plus receiving yards. And I'm going to wrap up this video talking about this Underdog fantasy entry, which we're going to actually go to Sleeper. We're talking about Sleeper. Now, like I said, Sleeper, I'll just throw the parlay up on the side of the screen. Sleeper, like I said, they have that free square for new users for Brock Purdy. Just make sure you use our code COS, and they also will match your first deposit up to $100. And you'll get the discounted line that you see as my first leg, which is Lamar Jackson, more than 168.5 passing yards. I'll take that discount. Sure, I'll take it. It limits you to a max, entry of $10. Whatever, I'll certainly take it. How else am I playing it? Taking Travis Kelce lower than 17.5 fantasy points. I just don't think Travis gets into the end zone. If he doesn't get into the end zone, it's going to be tough to hit a line like that. Gus Edwards, I like him for more than 0.5 receptions. I like Odell Beckham Jr. for more than 1.5 receptions. And like I said, I like Pacheco's rushing plus receiving yards. It's only $10 sprinkled to win over 100. I'll certainly take a stab at that. So that is my sleeper parlay. That is my sleeper entry, rolling with Pacheco and rolling with the rushing plus receiving and Lamar Jackson pass attempts. If y'all want to know who I think wins this game, I think the Ravens win this one by a field goal. I will be rooting for the Ravens. I honestly don't have a horse in this race. My team, they stink. But it would be cool to see Lamar Jackson get to the Super Bowl. Obviously, a guy, that it's hard to root against. So it will be a really good game, though. I think we're in for a doozy. And who knows how this game goes. And I'm sure it will be a really good one and set us up for the night game in the NFC Championship. But as for what I will be rooting on and betting on, is Isaiah Pacheco's over in rushing plus receiving yards and Lamar Jackson's over in pass attempts, plus that little sleeper entry that we sprinkled on. And maybe, maybe we'll do a parlay video that might be posted on Sunday. If we do that, I'll link it on the screen, but I'm not sure if we will. We'll see. We'll see if that will be posted Sunday. Let's have a wonderful AFC Championship. If you want to know my favorite picks for the NFC Championship, Lions versus 49ers, that video is on the screen. Go click it. See what I'm rolling with. We have a Lions same game parlay, trying to move to 9-0 on the Lions SGPs this season. Go check it out. You don't want to miss it. See you guys in the next one. Peace.